Let me make sure this is the right version of the deck. It's not. Hey everyone, welcome back to more Flesh and Bad. And today I wanted to go over my PQ Zen list from the last video and share my results from the PQ today. And first and foremost, I wanted to mention that this list was a psyop. So this was actually not my real Zen list. This was a fake Zen list that I tried to bait my locals with, which was not successful, by the way. But it was very, very funny. So this was a fake list I created like literally the night before, and I played 2 games on it. But you might see like, oh, why are there like 100 matches on this list? Well, actually, hold on. Some of these might be community results, which is really funny. If you look at the community results, there's actually 20 people who played this. So that's really funny. But my results were actually these were completely doctored. So do not believe anything you see on the internet. You all got completely bamboozled. Tegan can put a clip here where I basically manually edit the HTML on the page to make it look like my wins and losses were higher than they were. And also my card count. Like, I actually had to delete this entire table, which is also very funny. So there'll be a little clip of me doing that probably right about now. Yeah, but anyways, this is not my real PQ plus, or this is not my real PQ list. This was just a meme list that I was trying to fool my locals with for any of them who watch the channel. Although, not successful at all. And funny enough, if I actually brought this list, I think it would have done better. So I will go to my real PQ list, which is basically always just tracked on my normal like Zen tracking thing. So this is the same list where I kind of try to keep all my serious results, like serious testing results. So we have almost 1,000 matches at least between me and like the community matches. Yeah, but this is my current Zen list. Again, there are a couple changes that I'm going to make to this list after playing the PQ, but this is what I ran at the event. So we're running 29 blues, which is pretty stock standard. Again, nothing crazy here. One lucky wax off, again, just for 4 D-React seemed alright. And then 2 cosmics, I think were more so for like control decks, warmongers, you know. Nothing groundbreaking about this deck. This is just a very stock standard Zen list. Again, very boring, but again, we tried to fool people with the Count Your Blessings list, which was very funny. So let's go over my matchup. So round 1, I paired into a new, which is like, it feels bad. There were, I think, like 2 or 3 news at the event, if I'm not mistaken. There might have been more. There are a lot of floor. So to kind of talk about the PQ meta spread, so there are a lot of Florians. There are a lot of I don't even know what else. There's a lot of Florians. There's a lot of Auroras. Viscerai, like a lot of Rune Blades. So I was actually feeling pretty comfortable, like seeing the field of like, oh, Florians and Viscerais. Like I think this actually does pretty well into that generally. But round 1, I paired into a new, which is like bad gem luck. Sure, it happens. I'm not really tech for new. Like I don't have a snag. I don't have like anything special here. Like the wax on's pretty good. It did end up mattering a little bit, but again, the first game was close, and I just like could not get there. Felt a little bit like I was just like a couple damage short. I also like misplayed. I think they arsenaled like a Slither at some point. I forgot about it after like 2 or 3 turns, and then they like did like leave no witnesses. I overblocked, and then they codex. So happens to the best of us. And again, I don't feel particularly bad about that loss. Like felt like I maybe could have won that if I had like some better luck or like just played a little bit better. But again, happens round 1. Round 2, I played against Levia. Again, Levia can be a kind of a tough matchup, but they were kind of a newer player. So again, pretty easy, pretty like not easy win, but pretty like comfortable matchup, I'd say for me. And then round 3 was the other new, or one of the other news. So there were like 2 or 3 news in the room out of like a 30-person pro quest, and I faced into like the 2 of them. Lost the die roll, got a bunch of different like little high rolls with like bonds of agony and stuff. So didn't go very well at all. So I just went 1-2 drop, and then yeah. But funny enough, like with that gem lottery, this list I think would actually have done a lot better, just because there's tons of 1-for-7s and like late game fatigue potential with the cosmics. Like I wasn't actually able to even resolve any of the cosmics in my board. I brought them in for new just because they're like a decent blue that like kind of replaces some of the other blues like levels, and I borrow levels and 100 wins just because I don't like them having like a late game banish threat. But yeah, like cosmics, I couldn't actually like sustain the life total that I needed to get to Cosmic Awakening eventually. So yeah, pretty unfortunate gem lottery. Again, we're going to other PQs this season, so maybe I'll run this back at some point, or like run the Count Your Blessings list. So I was actually really tempted to actually just run the Count Your Blessings list. Like do a double psyop, but then it's like not even funny, right? That would just be me showing like what I'm bringing to the PQ. the double psyop is quite funny though. And I think it would fool a lot of the government agents that watch my channel. So maybe that was the real strat. But again, I don't feel too bad about my performance. I think that's just kind of bad luck. I think if I get paired into a couple Florians, I do a lot better. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play this Zen PQ list. Also, I did want to talk about like the changes I was gonna make. So I think that with 29 blues, it felt like I was almost like blue flooded a lot. Like I drew multiple hands where it's just like 4 blues in a row, and like it was like 100 Winds, Wind Chakra, Winds of Eternity, and like a Harmony. And it's like, okay, what does that hand do? Or I guess not the 100 Winds. It was like Biting Breeze, Wind Chakra, Winds of Eternity, Harmony, or something that like actually doesn't like work together. But I don't know. The predatory streaks were also not great for me today, but I did pair into 2 news, so again, they're not going to be amazing in that matchup. So maybe I wanted to kind of like run a little bit more of like just a red line, not like more red line, but like drop down on the blue count and maybe add in some E strikes just to like unbrick some hands seems kind of reasonable to me. And then the board, the cosmics like really have not ended up mattering a whole lot. So maybe boarding in like 2 extra wax-ons for new if there's a lot of news locally seems fine. Again, I'm not. This also like seems kind of decent like Aurora and stuff. So I want to try this version out at some point. We may do that this week, but I do want to just play my PQ list and just see how this performs. So yeah. But with that, we'll go ahead and get into the games for today. All right, looks like we got an Azalea. I generally like going first into Azalea, and we definitely want our React package. Typically board out like Predatory Streaks. I think Bittering is also a little bit weak. Probably trim on some of like the clunkier cards, like Pounce the Key is fine. Maybe like a Spinning Wheel Kick also seems fine. No, we definitely want Needles into Azalea, just because they're really threatening. And then I think we'll run it like this and see how it goes. I kind of have more sideboard off of vibes against Azalea more than anything. This is like generally there are like other cards you can cut. You can probably cut like Breeding or there as well. Okay, so what does this hand want to do? I feel like this hand just wants to like YOLO a Harmony. And then we can like levels for 5, Arsenal the CNC. Could also just pass, but that feels kind of bad. Let's YOLO the Harmony and see what they do, and then maybe we just pass from there. Just get a little bit of filtering here. Alright, another Harmony. That's fine. The card sucks anyways. And then I think we'll just Arsenal our CNC here. I don't want to give them like free graveyard setup in case they have like a Codex or something. We do have a CNC set up in Arsenal, so like if we can block 6 here and then send CNC and then Arsenal levels, I think we're in a pretty good spot. It looks like we're activating the Death Dealer here for an Endless Arrow. Okay, coming in for 10. I think that's okay. I've lovingly called this the IP arrow. Not really that afraid of like snaps and anything at this point in the game. I think we're just gonna unclunk our hand a little bit here. The plan being to like needle into CNC on their turn and just strip them of cards, Arsenal levels. Seems like a pretty good tempo play. They will probably end up giving us a card to this needle here. But hopefully it makes our CNC a little bit better if they do. Also, I need to figure out a way to like make my needles face the right way on Talishar. This is like very dangerous. I wouldn't advise doing this at home.
There's a way to do it.
There is a way to do it?
Yeah, so you have to like select. I think it's which ones you select as you're like loading in. Like
okay.
The order you select it matters.
Interesting.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
We'll have to experiment with that.
Yeah, gameplay testing. How to make needles work good.
All right, CNC looks like it's gonna hit. which is very good for us. It's probably going to take the Endless Arrow out, but again, keeping Azalea off in Arsenal is pretty important, just to deny them like the free like Dominate and Skullbone cross wrap value. So we'll go ahead and go to 34. Yeah, we're not finding our Transcend, which is a little bit unfortunate. What is our combo density at? We have 2 here. All right, they have a knock, which is kind of fine on this hand. Well, it's not great. They get like a red. It's like, but how do they like pay for it? I guess I don't know. So I guess what are we thinking about doing next turn? I guess it depends a little bit on what they get here, but we have 2 combo cards in the bin. We pitched. What do we even pitch? We pitched like a wins, right? Pitch a wins, so there's 1 combo card at the bottom. So there's 49 cards in deck that we know about currently. You get a drill shot. Interesting. The unfortunate thing about this hand is it like does not play very well unless we hit something random off the top. So they are going off an Arsenal here. I feel like we almost want to hedge here and just block. We can like randomly fish off the Harmony if we want to like develop out something. Maybe we'll even use our pause in case we like randomly hit a Chase the Tail off the top. I'm trying to think. Maybe blocking with pause here is wrong, but like they're gonna -1 in armor anyways, so it's probably gonna be like one of these 2. Worst case scenario, we can like Harmony into Aspect and then pitch to the Blood Rot, which is kind of weak, but they don't have an Arsenal, so I guess we're kind of happy with that. So the important threats in this matchup are obviously like Warmongers and then Transcending. Pretty important. I think we're just going to YOLO the Harmony here, though. I think we're pretty likely to hit here. All right, we do hit, but it's not a great hit. Yeah, it's fine, though. We'll just do levels into... do go again. Feels bad to go off a blue in Arsenal, but I think it's probably fine. I don't really want to give them another needle because this is going to probably be a weak turn from them next turn. I just send 6 here. I think it's okay. Take 2 from the Blood Rot. Is that right? I don't know. Maybe there's like some like slightly more efficient thing I could have done there. We're not going to pay here. Just Arsenal. Okay, this is a good hand. Waxon is actually quite good against Azalea. Not against like Red Ledger specifically, but like they have a lot of like 0 costs that it's generally quite okay against. Alright, love to see the Battering Bolt pitch. Very happy with that. And that is a good target for Waxon if they decide to keep it, but they are going to be able to opt here. We have not Transcended yet, but we do have 2 Transcend cards in hand, so pretty happy. Alright, Rab. They put a card on top, they reveal red. Okay, so they're probably going to play the red. We can Waxon plus give like Kasaya. Is that good? You can also give up Shuko. Sure, it's fine. Depends how big they pump it here. Well, I guess they have to read the glide path, so it goes to 8. We can block 5 here, but then we lose our traverse value, but we get to keep like a decent hand. Bolton shot. Why are they doing this now? How do they play the red? Are they setting up the Red Ledger for next turn? Is that what this is? I guess they didn't want to pitch to send 8. Seems kind of wrong, but let's see what they do here, I guess. A Codex, what does that do? Nothing. I think we're just going to wax on here. Again, I'm not like, we could save this for the red and ledger, but I think getting 5 value here is actually pretty decent. So I don't know if they even load on Bolt and Shot. They could, but like we block 5 here still. Or we block like 3 and then 2. And then they use Tunic, and that's fine. Interesting. Okay, I think we're fine with this. They could have definitely like forced through a red and ledger if they really wanted to. Sure. Vanilla damage against Azalea. Again, I think you just generally want to try to take it unless it's like you're dying, but we're not dying at this point. We got a really good hand. Things are looking good. So we will... I guess it doesn't matter the order. We'll gain both resources here because we can always pay the Blood Rot if we would need to get a Chi out of our hand. Activate Zen. We'll get our Aspect for sure. Or our Chase the Tail for sure. And then we can do the Chase Aspect line. Pay for Blood Rot. And then we can either Arsenal the Pouncing Key or we can play it out. We do know about the Red and Ledger in their hand. So maybe going off an Arsenal is like kind of okay. There might have been some merit to keeping the Wax on even at a 3 block for red. But I don't think the Red and Ledger turn is going to be super efficient off of Tunic and no Arsenal. They can't probably dominate it either if they do want to play it. They'd have to find like another Red and Ledger. Could also Needle here and like if we really want to be safe and like since we know about the Red Ledger, if we really want to like just take them off of it, like Needle will probably do that. Yeah, I feel like if we know they have a red, like Needle is actually quite strong here. And then are we playing the Pouncing Key or not? We do have a Command and Conquer, so Codex isn't even that good. Sure. I won't pay for Blood Rod, and I think we'll be fine. Send in the Needle. If they want to go off a card, I think we're happy with that. And they do have a red, so it's like their Codex wouldn't be amazing too, because they already have like something to play. All right, we'll fall to, or we'll stay at 19. They're 11. Pretty good hand next turn, but Red and Ledger might put a stop to this, which is okay. The All-Infecting Shot is interesting. So there's the red. Hopefully it's not huge, but even if it is, we can block 7 and then Arsenal like pass over or something. Potentially even get them if they like Codex. That'd be kind of funny. All right, coming in for 5. So this is potentially a Rain Razors. They get like snaps into something as well. I'm fine blocking 5 here. They want to rain, like we can just like have the Biting Breeze and then do some other stuff. Sure. They can also snaps. I think it's also fine. All right, so maybe a Codex here or Bullseye. Okay, sure. Another red. Also fine. Seek and Destroy could be a little bit annoying, but that's okay. So coming in for 9 total. All right, not blockable, so that'll have to be fine. And then we are getting Seek and Destroyed. Again, they do have pretty good targets in the graveyard already. Yeah, double red's a little bit rough, but not much we can do here. They are up in Arsenal, so they're not going to have like probably a huge dominated thing. And then we can just use Passover to send Needle. I think it's fine. I don't think Passover does very much here in terms of like playing it for like denying the graveyard. Although like if they got rid of or they didn't have a second red, I'd probably do that honestly. But just getting in here for 2 is fine. If they want to use their last card to, or use the card here, I think we're pretty happy with that. All right, 2 damage acquired. Okay, this hand's a little bit clunky, but we can try to make it work with Traverse if they kind of whiff here. All right, Sleep Dart is fine. So we're at 8 total currently. No tunic counter, so they have to give us 1 card to pitch to this if they want to play it. Oh, they could just dominate something at me. We've also not seen a Warmongers. Did I board them in? I'm pretty sure I did. Feels like I should have, right? Alright, Seek and Destroy. Pretty big Sleep Dart. Not dominated. So here, well, they have another Seek and Destroy, so there's not really much point in like. Well, okay, so we block 5 here. What's the best break point? Oh, we can block like 6 here, 5 here, and then get Key Unleashed. Seems pretty good. Yeah, I don't mind this. And then we get to sit on a Flick Flack for the next turn. That seems pretty good. So go ahead and Flick Flack here. Lock in the full 11. We'll go ahead and activate Zen. Well, I guess we should have Needle first, but bad player. We'll get our Key Unleashed, and then we'll do Needle. You can also use our, well, no, the Tiger, we don't have Shuko up, so Tiger wouldn't do anything here. All right, still no blocks on the Needle. Very interesting. All right, we are threatening lethal here, so they'll have to give us at least equipment or a card. And then we are sitting on the Flick Flack. They don't have an arsenal, so we're not really scared of like a big dominated arrow or anything. And they have seen 2 red and ledgers, so we're really only scared of like Codex at this point. But we do have the Flick Flack to kind of negate the discard. All right, looks like they're potentially going to 1 here. Pretty risky. All right, going to 1. Still have our Needle up too, so I think we're in a really good spot here, especially sitting on a Flick Flack. I feel like they have a pretty uphill battle. It'd have to be like some nuts random red and ledge off the top. Like, I don't even think like a Remorseless does it here. All right, Frailty's fine. Again, this is still coming at a breakpoint. All right, now it's not, I guess. 2 Frailty might do it. And then, yep, so that's a lot of damage. It's okay. So how much is it coming in for? It's coming in for 13. Can block 13 if we wanted to, but then we can't do anything. We could also block 8, play Warmongers. We take a bunch of damage. So we can also just play out this hand. Playing out this hand's probably right. Because this like doesn't, well, the frailties are kind of messed up for the needles. But we can do 4 into 4 into 4. Yeah, it's gotta be worth it. So we'll take 9 here plus a Blood Rock. We go to 1. Yeah, that seems worth it. All right, go blocks. Fuck it. So we'll go to 3. We're effectively taking 2 extra. Our Needle doesn't do anything here, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's how it goes sometimes. And we do have our Pouncing Paws to kind of like unbrick our hand a little bit. This should strip them of all their cards. So we'll start with the spinning. Comes in for 4. And we'll pop the paws, do another 4, and then another 4. And then we can also like disrespectfully needle them at some point for 0. Oh, actually, you know what? We should instill the fear with needle. We should do it now. Needle for 0. All right. Are they gonna play around the green that tips the scale? Damn it. We tried. We tried. So now I'll pop the pause. We'll play the tiger. Then 4-1-4-0-4. Should get there. Yeah, it looks like we got there. Good game. Yeah, but Azalea, I think I'm actually pretty comfortable on Azalea. Our list isn't like heavily tech for Azalea, but again, Warmonger's hoses are pretty bad. We didn't even see that game, and actually it wasn't too bad for us. Yeah, but it looks like our opponent was doing some kind of funky aim stuff potentially. Interesting list. Again, Azaleas can. It's hard to tell if they're like like what kind of build they're on. So, anyways, we'll go ahead and see if we can get another one. All right, OG Dash. So against OG Dash, I typically like to hedge for fatigue, just because I know like slab dash is a thing. Don't think we want any reacts, although like Fliplock's probably not terrible. Maybe just do all gas, no brakes though. I don't like bringing needles just in case, but let's see how it goes. Again, if they're like the more boost dash oriented thing, I think needles get a lot better, but it's hard to know like what version of dash, because pistol dash is still somewhat of a real thing. I haven't played against dash in a while though, so maybe like boost dash. I haven't like kept up with dash at all. All right, this is potentially at first glance looking a little bit more. Uh, this is looking a little bit more slab dashy than boost dash, but we'll see. All right, so they do have the T-bone on turn 1, which is fine. Again, we do have pouncing paws, which is actually a pretty good like main deck tech for them. I haven't really thought about that in a while. So we are. Wait, where are we? Oh, we're blocking 3, right, because of that. So I think we will give them an extra block here. We'll maybe block with swipe here. Seems kind of the worst. Sure, block with the swipe. They can present a lot of damage here, so we might end up like losing an extra 1 at some point down the line. But they'd have to like go off an arsenal or give us some cards. So maybe this is looking a little bit more boost dashy. All right, playing out another pounder is pretty gross. It's a pretty good setup turn from them. Our turn here is not amazing. Yeah, I think we're just pitching the car and sending 5 here, which I'm not in love with. Oh, did I have an opportunity to keep a blue in that hand? Yeah, I totally did, didn't I? So I think maybe blocking 6 with the 2 reds there is actually a little bit better. Might have been a slight punt. I think in general you do want to try to keep a blue in your hand if you don't know otherwise, especially this early in the game. All right, getting a Foundry Heart this early is kind of interesting. I was debating whether or not we wanted to bring Flick Flax in this matchup. I don't think they're terrible. Okay, blocking 5 here is fine. Okay, this is a pretty good hand if we get to keep any of it. Although we can't really play out the second bittering. This hand's a little bit awkward. It's more so awkward because we can't really like chase too. Feels a little bit bad, but all right, we see the pounder pitched again. That's fine. Their Stonewall's probably going to be able to get 2 value on the next turn. Although actually it can get like 3. If we do like bittering this. All right, Zipper is fine. It's a lot of damage. And I assume we're finishing on a pistol here maybe, or maybe just load it. All right, taking a lot of damage here. All right, shooting the gun for 2. All right, so we are at 20, but we got a pretty good clapback. If we can YOLO RNG off the top, I think we are probably in business. But I don't think we need to. Okay, we did anyways, because I'm the GOAT at fucking YOLOing off the top. Pass over, we'll target 0 to 60. We'll gain our resource. And again, swipe is actually an amazing hit here. So how do we want to play this hand out? Or what are we getting, I guess? We could pitch the bittering to get a chase the tail, but that feels kind of inefficient. All right, we're going to start with the bittering and see what they do. It might just take this to try to like enable Stonewall. All right, that's not how Stonewall works, so they shouldn't do it here. Again, Stonewall says that when this defends an attack with base power greater than its base, all the things get -1. So this effect does not actually work, unfortunately for our opponent. So I think we'll go ahead and aspect again. We'll show them that this is still getting buffed for 4. Maybe they want to take it back. Stonewall is a hard card to use. I don't think Stonewall is actually a very good card into Zen anymore, just because Art of War is gone. Like, the most I've seen Stonewall get is like 4 value, and that's just because like the hand was like kind of clunky or weird. So we'll go ahead and what are we getting off the chi? It's a good question. I do want to arsenal the Bittering Thorn still. What is send Tiger here though? Tiger into 6, into potentially something else. Seems okay. Double Pounder on turn 1's pretty gross. All right, they have a Spark and a T-Bone. That's good information. Blocking with the Spark is interesting. So they have a T-Bone in hand and then one other unknown card. All right, we will go ahead. I think we're just going to get like a Pouncing Key because it's kind of a brick card later on, and like we don't have like a good use for the Tiger, so the Tiger Swipe doesn't do very much either. The Pouncing Key is like a very good tutor target. I don't like drawing Pouncing Key, but like searching for Pouncing Key feels really good generally. All right, and the life totals are a little bit more even now, though I still think we got a little bit of work to do. Cosmic here is maybe looking a little bit goofy. I don't think, maybe like, I've played against Dash in so long that maybe it's probably wrong, because even if they're like pistol dash is this good, I don't know. All right, we're coming in for 8. It's an under loop when it hits put on the bottom. Okay, what are we doing here? Can block, get. Can we get chase, do bittering? I think what's right here. Could block here with traverse, prevent the on hit. The on hit doesn't even matter though. And then we could get chi, do like a card chase tail Pouncing Key, seems fine. Can't really use our hand very effectively here. It's a little unfortunate. Maybe block 5 here, and then we can get like 100 wins. Does that work? Yeah, that does work. Yes. Maybe that's more. I don't know if that's better than Chase the Tail, but maybe. It seems like the best way to use all of our cards. We do 1 into 2 into 0 cost, 0 cost, 0 cost. Still take 3 here, but we're almost through the last of the pounders, so maybe it's fine here. All right, we'll get an extra 2 from the gun. Start with bittering. All right, we say no blocks. Sure. We'll get... Actually, I don't know if we should have bittering at that point. Probably not, right? Probably should have done it a little bit of later point, because then this makes the Kakara come in at a weird block breakpoint. Yeah, that was a little bit of a punt here. Hopefully they just don't block this and don't punish me for it, but I think that that's wrong to do that. Okay. Never punished. But again, I think that's like a small misplay that could be bad. Send the pouncing key, and then we'll do Winds of Eternity, and this should get the Shuko buff. So, pretty efficient hand. Though notably, we are starting to run out of steam. But we're sending an extra 8, so we put him to effectively 9 life total. So maybe it's okay. Definitely a little bit loose here. Again, it's late at night. We had a PQ today, so a little bit out of it, but we'll do our best. 2 Sprocket Rockets. Okay, it's probably not very efficient to play, so probably better block in those 2. This looks like it might be like almost like a hybrid boost dash with just the amount of blues I've seen. Or like a hybrid pistol, I don't know what to call it, the slab dash kind of thing. Okay, looks like we see the high octane off the top, so we're coming for 7. Again, I don't think we really care. Reload pistols, another 2, which puts us to 6. I think we're okay with this. I think the last couple hands have been pretty weak. Just like, it looks like 3 blues hand with a zipper hit. Not amazing. Alright, pistol coming for 2. Again, I think we say no blocks. We're at a comfortable enough life lead where we don't really need to care about the pistol, and we got another 4 armor buffer, so we're in a pretty good spot here. I think we're going to do the 100 Winds, drain the tips of the scale, get a chase the tail, and then just kind of pop off here. We can pitch the Cosmic here to just collect a car or something, get an extra 3 damage out of it. We will go ahead and do some reactions. We'll get a resource coming for 2. Okay, pretty good for us. Pitch here, we'll get... We definitely want a 1 cost. Made, we don't need Chase the Tail, although it is like pretty efficient. It's like 1 less damage, but we don't need... It's 1 less damage than the Mullen Key, but we don't need to use our Pouncing Paws yet. But we're kind of running to the end of the game, so maybe using Pouncing Paws is actually correct here. We could squeeze an extra damage here, but does the 1 extra damage matter? So we do 1, we do 2, 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, which is 9, and then we fish on Mauling, so we still strip a card out of their hand. I think the extra... we'll do the extra 1 damage. I'm not going to think about it too hard. I think it's slightly better. Although, like, we could brick eventually, and then, like, we regret our actions a little bit. Also, I probably should have broken this up, too. I probably should have Kakari'd after the first Tiger. I should have done it then. See, Breed Anger. So I should have done it, like, right after this attack. But again, I'm playing a little bit fast here. Then we'll do Tiger, Chase Tiger, force a card out of their hands. So if you do the mauling, what changes? So we get 4 here, they have to give us a card, and then we do another 3, they have to give us a card. So I think this is actually slightly better, right? Like ever so slight, like we do get 1 extra damage here, which may end up mattering. But we have to use our Pouncing Paws to do it. But we take them off 2 cards here, which I think is maybe worth it. I kind of like that play. Okay, this is a little bit of a brick. But maybe it's okay. See a bandage 060 off the top. I think blocking a little bit here is fine. Like block 3. Still at 10 effectively. We're going to be sending a decent bit of damage next turn. We can send 3, 2, 1. And then if they don't block, we can send another 2. Or another 1. Another 2. All right, Tekla Core is not great for them there. So we'll start with the Kakara. Just kind of reveal the least amount of information. Because they might be inclined to take this if it doesn't kill them. And then we send 3 into 1, which could be kind of annoying for them. Like if they block here, and then don't block the Biting Breeze, it's like kind of weird. I think they have to block the Biting Breeze though. Like the Biting Breeze is basically representing 3 damage here, which is kind of cool. We could have also arsenaled the Wind Chakra, but it seems kind of suspect at this point in the game, and I'd rather just kind of get the guaranteed 3 value out of it. Over like the potential 3 value of it later in the game, it seems a little bit kind of suspect. All right, Tiger for 2. Again, I don't think they should have let that hit if they have a card to block with in hand. Maybe they don't. So they did take an extra 1 there, I think, but maybe they weren't thinking about it too much. All right, we do get a Pulse Wave, although it's not going to do very much here. We'll reveal a Maul Key, which I think might be just the card we block with here. So you can send Bittering into CNC. Yep, just keep up our efficient plays until we grind them out. Again, this should strip most of the cards out of their hand. Or not even should, I think it does, because Bittering... oh, they get to Pistol too, that's pretty good. Again, we're still saying no blocks here. So if they double block the Bittering, assuming they don't have like a D-Reactor or anything, if they double block the Bittering, that's basically the same as if like letting the Bittering hit for 3 and then the CNC. Like they have to give us... Well, actually, no. Yeah, they have to give us 2 cards here. They have to give us their full hand here unless they have a 4 block. But I think how the breakpoints work. Because if they block 3 here, and then CNC comes in for 7, we're dealing 2 damage total. So they have to give us 4 cards. And if they double block here, they still have to give us all their cards. Yep. So we'll do that, and then we'll send the CNC for 7. They give us the full hand, and then we should be able to win on our next hand, assuming we don't brick like ridiculously hard. Oh, this game was pretty close. Again, the Pounders on turn 1 were pretty scary. Yep. Give us the full hand. Makes sense here. Teklo Core. They get us to effectively 1. We'll go ahead and block with Kasaya here, because... Well... Do we block with Kasaya? Sure. The resources I don't think are going to matter here. I think Shuko is probably going to be more relevant in terms of just presenting like a random breakpoint. So Okakara, again, we didn't even have to block that in the first place because it's like dash. Like they don't have like a random way to deal 1 damage. But we'll do the Rising Sun, Setting Moon. Here we'll put Pouncing Key on the bottom. We still have Chase the Tails, right? Yeah, we're in a good spot here. So this should kill. It took us a little bit longer to get there than I'd like, but it's fine. Also, we don't have a way to use the chi, but I'm just assuming the skills here. Again, we could have gotten like a Key Unleashed. I think it also probably would have killed. I think this does the most damage, yeah. Looks like we caught him on Tekla Core. Good game, though. I think it was pretty close overall. I think like if they don't draw some of those brick hands, I think it's a little bit better. Let's actually see if they were on like a more fatigued dash. It's hard to tell sometimes, although they do have like a lot of 3 blocks. I mean, it's just dash in general has a lot of 3 blocks. It's hard to tell. Maybe it feels like it could have been like almost a boost dash that like pivoted into just, or it could have been a slab dash that like pivoted into like a boost dash or something. I don't know. It's hard to tell with a lot of these dash lists. But yeah, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up the recording there. Again, I'm sorry that my PSYOP failed, and I'm sorry that I let down the good folks of that PQ I attended. Very unfortunate that I didn't see any Poison the Walls plays against me or anything funky. And again, new is pretty rough. Again, I do want to show off the test changes that I'm going to be doing after this. I think I want to try to cut down a little bit on the blues. Maybe I'll end up going like 28 blues. 27 still seems a little bit low, but I think the E-strikes are pretty good just in general into like CYB and also like randomly into like new. I don't think E-strike is like a terrible card. I like a two of. Also maybe helps like unbrick some of the hands and stuff. But I want to test this out this week and then maybe test out like if we need the cosmics in the board. Again, I don't. They haven't. I have not in the two or like I've had like cosmics and like testing for like the past 2 weeks. And I've like not played a cosmic in those 2 weeks. Just even against like decks like Borderman against like Florian or like new. I just haven't. The life totals haven't gotten to the point where they've mattered. So that's why I wanted to remove those as well. Yeah, but thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.